As fans across America get ready for another season of college football, one team is already in full swing. This is the making of EA Sports NCAA Football 12. Previously on the making of NCAA Football 12. Visually, the game is a go. Coach Johnson gave his stamp of approval, and Mark Ingram's debut on the cover is a smash, but the team still has looming deadlines on the horizon. As the game's development enters the latter stages, several marketing and PR opportunities are already in full swing. EA Sports kicks off the NFL Draft Week in New York City with a pre-draft party hosted by newly crowned cover athlete Mark Ingram.
We're here at Draft Night Premiere. It's finally come. We've worked really hard to get to this point. We've got athletes everywhere. We're excited. Everything's going well.
We do this every year. We have a party in New York a couple nights before the draft, and it just gives them a chance to relax and hang out.
Draft Night Premiere is an important night for NCAA football because it's really kind of the kickoff of the marketing campaign. So we've had some communication with press and the gaming community, but this is when we really start to kick in the masses. The guys come out, the players themselves actually get their hands on the sticks for the first time. So it's an exciting time for marketers and development guys alike.
EA Sports is doing a great job throwing a party, and it's definitely a fun time, and we're enjoying ourselves.
Mark Ingram, cover athlete, the first thing he did when he came in, he was going to start interviews, and he started looking at the game. He's really into the game. He's a big player.
Let me see some three. Oh, let me see some three. Uh-oh. Oh, let me see some pop.
A guy like Mark, you know, growing up playing the game and now being the cover is definitely tremendous bragging rights for him and all his buddies.
Well, it's a real special night for me just because I've played this game all through middle school and high school and college, and it's a game that I love and a game that I love to play. So I'm taking all challenges. I'm taking all challenges.
The detail in the game, in the stadiums, it's unbelievable.
It's a game I've played my whole life. I think it's very authentic to each team and each program.
EA has done a great job making the playbooks extremely similar. Pick Missouri, you see their spread playbook. It's very similar to what we actually run in college.
I just got done playing Julio Jones a couple minutes ago. I mean, all-world receiver. He started out 8-0, final score 27-8. I mean, that's the highlight of my year. These guys know the game, know it better than some of the guys that are working on it, you know? That's how much they play it.
It's amazing. I mean, you've got players here, guys who are setting up for the draft, spend a night or two playing the game. It's unbelievable.
I've been on email nonstop since I've been here. I've had to charge my phone at least 6 times. And that's what it's going to be. You know, while you're out of the office, you're still in the office in some ways.
From the Big Apple to the city by the bay, the team continues to showcase the game and reveal new features to key members of the media.
My major role is to make sure that the NCAA football title gets picked up in all different types of media outlets. So I've got Ben out here to show Dynasty and Alex out here to show Road to Glory.
Today we're going through a lot of interviews with a lot of press, dimming our game, showing off our new features. It's a lot of fun showing them everything we've worked on for so hard.
We're meeting with enthusiast press here in San Francisco because it's easier for us to come to them. There's several outlets out here, and so we have them come to this hotel suite and check out the game. It's fun to travel out here. It's definitely busy, and we're going cross country all the time this time of year.
Back in Orlando, the team at the Tiburon campus addresses its lighting needs.
One of the biggest things that we added to NCAA 11 was linear lighting, and what that is just kind of allowing the game to render with more accurate colors and more contrast. And it was really cool because when we started to release screenshots, we actually fooled some people that they actually thought they were looking at a picture of a real game.
HDR, what that buys us is the ability to demonstrate extreme lighting in one scenario and also show dark areas where you might lose some of the detail in one shot. It's really just going to pull up and make it seem more realistic, as if you're taking a picture in real life. You can see that as we pull in on the bright side, it's actually going to darken the game. As we pull around to the darker side, you can actually see those color values pull out.
So we're in a calibration room. This is where I light the game, have all this dynamic lighting. So add in all these different layers in the shaders. So it really helps bring the realism from true to life lighting, like physical lighting, we're able to capture some of that and get it into our game.
The way we tackled this was to touch every single material in the scene, from the players to the environment to the skies. We tried to bring everything together, and it was a huge team effort to get HDR into this game.
As the game elements are complete and locked in, a key facet of production is addressed, one that will make or break a franchise.
The demo is make or break for it. It's the first chance for a lot of people to actually play the game. They've seen our videos, they've seen us talk about it, they've seen the interviews. It's very critical that that game and that demo plays well, because a lot of people are going to make their decisions on are they going to buy the game based on how the demo plays. It literally can cause a game not to ship, and we've seen that happen before.
As we were going through alpha and working on the demo, a week before our scheduled final date, we started to notice an issue, as you can see here, with our lighting. It was something that we wanted to address in the demo and not get it out to the public. As you can see here, you have the lighting bloom effects very apparent, and this is on your coin toss screen, and this is not the look we were going for. We definitely don't want to promote brand new HDR lighting through the demo videos that are in the game, and then boom, the first thing that the user gets to see of the game is bam, bad lighting.
If you've got a demo that is going to put doubt into the final product, I mean, you're in a world of hurt. That's the worst thing you can have happen.
When we return, the team makes some sound decisions, and they continue to iron out issues with the demo. Although visual elements play the largest role in establishing the game's feel, it is sound that brings the game to life. The team hopes to offer the gamer a true experience in every situation. The audio adds a layer of realism that transports the gamer to the gridiron.
So this year we had a pretty ambitious list of things we wanted to accomplish, and so early in the pre-production cycle I got with Dale and Jesse and talked about how we wanted to improve audio in the game.
This year, what we wanted to try to do was let's go, up the ante on the realism and go out to all these different size schools and record them.
I had the chance to go on the sidelines for the Auburn-LSU game this year. I was on the field recording, and just hearing that in the game now is absolutely amazing.
We have 50 new drum cadences in the game that were all recorded by UCF's, that's the University of Central Florida's live marching band. They performed it live at a studio in Orlando. That was one of the really cool things we did. We're super excited about those. It really makes a drastic difference in the game. It's just because it's a live band, it sounds so much better than what we've had.
Along with the additions of the sounds of the bands and the crowds, the game's commentary adds another dimension to the feel of the game, including the voice of yours truly.
These two teams are so much alike that it's got to be a really hard-fought and close game all the way.
One of the big things this year, obviously, is recording professional talent. Brad Nessler, KIRK, ERIN Andrews, they come in. It's like 3 to 5 days of recording.
Usually they'll bring us in for a couple days, and we'll work from 8:30 or 9 o'clock in the morning to usually like 4 o'clock, with some breaks in between, because you start to kind of, after an hour or so, start to need to kind of regroup.
When we first started off 10 or 12 years ago, it was first down and 10, and we had to do 8,000 names and every yard line and every conceivable play. But now it's more conversational. It's more like what we do on Saturday, so it's been a lot more fun.
Makes it to the 34, and again they run the same play.
This is getting ridiculous, but you know what? I don't blame them. If they can consistently get good runs like this, why change?
So to me, when I see the game, it looks like the game that I do every Saturday. And I think with the music in there now, even though I get tired of that music after 19 years at ESPN, now I hear it in the game, so I hear it in my sleep pretty much.
Hi everybody, Brad Nessler in the booth, along with Kirk Herbstreit. ERIN Andrews is reporting from the sidelines.
I actually try to think that I'm on the sidelines and I'm working the game with the guys in the booth.
Here's more from ERIN Andrews.
Thanks, Brad. It wasn't the showing that he was expecting from his team. He blames himself for not preparing them better. He also said to look for them to throw some surprises out there.
I just try to do the best I can at trying to do my more authentic voice that I would do if I were calling a game.
Yeah, when he gets his motor started, and that's usually well before kickoff, nothing is going to stop him. He's revved up constantly.
The commentary's got a lot more logic to it than some of these other sounds. And I have tools on my computer that I use to take the sound that we record in the studio and apply logic to it so it plays in the right situation in the game. So if you throw a pass for a first down, it knows that you threw a pass for a first down.
Tackle made at the 22.
He did well to make sure he had enough yardage to pick up the first down. After months of tireless hours of production and promotion, the game is locked and beta testing begins. At this point, the team can focus on clearing all bugs while ensuring the game plays without a hitch.
It's not looking like we're going to hit 0 tonight. We're sitting right now at about 22 bugs. If you're not on the filing team and you have no bugs, you don't need to stay late. But if there is anything you can help out on, please stay and help. So we have A bugs, which are basically, they're a crash. We have B bugs, which are, they could be a crash, but they can actually work around it.
So this bug here, with Bjorn's help, we were able to fix this bug by just changing one character.
We always feel like when we get it out there, there's a little bit more we could have done, but at the end, you have to hit the date on time. Right here at the end, we're working really late, 10:30, 11 o'clock. It can be tough, especially when you're not seeing your family late at night. Well, it's looking like we're gonna be working late again tonight.
Do you want to say goodnight to the girls?
Hey, how's the spelling test today, Abby?
Good.
You doing okay?
I think I got it. 100.
100, really?
Yes.
All right, where's Mom? All right, well, I guess I'll see you later on tonight.
Are you gonna make it home before 10 or?
I don't know about that. It's not looking good.
All right.
We're at,
how many?
Ooh, we're at 6 bugs all of a sudden.
All right.
All right, I'll talk to you later.
As if the looming deadline isn't stressful enough, one member of the EA Sports family faces another engaging concern.
Cole too, I mean, I've known him for 7 years now. He's had like 3 or 4 different like I'm gonna get engaged type plans. And so this one seemed like one that was actually moving forward beyond just the idea stage. And so then when he said that he didn't want to do it or that he didn't have time to do it and he was just gonna scrap the whole thing, and so we all had to come in as a team and not just help finish the game, but help this guy get engaged.
You know, there's a couple different levels to it. It's thrown as a birthday party, but then an engagement party.
She sat down anyway and got the controller in her hand and tries to go play a game. And lo and behold, Cole's special animation takes over. That man put in a lot of work for this. He loves Franny very much.
Coming up, NCAA Football 12 takes center stage at the biggest event of the year. In addition to Road to Glory, Dynasty Mode is another big feature, and it's proving to be a bit of a challenge for the game's producers.
Dynasty is really our version where you can kind of, start off at this year and you build your team up through recruiting. And really this year we took that a little bit step further, and we went when we added the coaching carousel.
The biggest request we had from the community was adding the coaching carousel to the game. And what that is really you taking on the life of a coach. With a mode like Coaching Carousel, where you have a feature this large and this complex, you're gonna have a lot of bugs with it, and a lot of different things in the logic you wanna get right to try and match what goes on in the real world.
We basically had to go in here and change all this by hand. That was the biggest worry about doing it, is how long it was gonna take us to make the changes. And that's, I think, was the bigger worry, is that if we're gonna have time to make the changes and time to test the changes. At the end, everybody else agreed, even though they were nervous about it, and we got it done.
As important as mastering the visuals of the stadium's fans and schools in-game, Integrating the product's key sponsor, Coke Zero, into the final build is just as essential for the team.
So we came to Coke Zero this year with the idea of sort of sponsoring the whole online dynasty experience. Online dynasty is a huge part of our game. It's most of our users' favorite feature. So there's a lot of traffic in there, and obviously if there's a lot of traffic and there's a lot of representation possibilities there. And so we came to them pretty early with that and did a bunch of mocks back and forth, trying to send them some concepts and some ideas, and we ended up with what we have in the game this year. So these are some of the early mocks we sent to Coke. You know, the Coke Zero really likes their real Coke taste and 0 calories tagline, so we wanted to try to get that in there for them. Getting through here, trying to get some of the Coke bubbles graphical treatment in the background, and then just taking some of those different pieces and sort of mixing them up. Getting the bubbles in here and trying to make the whole screen kind of feel like a Coke bottle that's got the condensation on it, and you know, you sort of see that on the screen, sort of makes you want to go out and try a Coke Zero.
E3, the Electronic Entertainment Expo in Los Angeles, is one of the biggest events of the year for the entire video gaming industry. For 3 days, in front of hundreds of thousands of spectators and critics, the game is showcased, viewed, appraised, and hopefully applauded by media, gamers, and of course, its biggest competitors in the industry.
E3 is huge for every video game company, let me tell you. We put a lot of effort into it. And for NCAA football in particular, it's an interesting event because we always have our last feature announced there.
For an annual game like NCAA football, it's important for us to be there. You know, it's a big stage, and NCAA is a big franchise. We want to be on that stage.
I mean, E3 is the end-all be-all for video games. It's the biggest convention of the year. It's really where you get a chance to go out and show what you've done for the year. And we're in a great situation every year because the timing of E3 comes, you know, early June. We're basically done. We're showing our final build. This is a chance for a lot of people the first time to ever play the game. So they get a chance to come in, play it, see what it's all about, and then go out and talk to everybody about what a great time they had playing NCAA. So it's a very, very important time for us. This is what gaming's all about these days. So you gotta go big or go home, and so that's what we're about to do. So this is a little different for us this year. We're actually kind of behind closed doors. So we're not on the main floor with everyone. It's a little bit more exclusive, a little more intimate, which for me to demo the game is actually really nice because I can spend some more time with somebody. So you can edit all of those as well. So all 8 slots you can set to whatever conferences you want. This is kind of the first chance for a lot of people to really get their hands in the game. They've seen the videos we've come out with, they've seen our blogs, but there's one thing to read about it, there's a whole other thing to play it.
Oh yeah, let's do it. Oh, that was nice.
Yeah, we're here in Los Angeles for E3. It is an incredibly important part of the beats and the cadence of our industry. It's when we show the titles that are ready to ship, in particular for this holiday period coming up.
Who are the voices this year? So we got Nessler, we got HERBSTREIT, and then ERIN Andrews on the sideline.
It's been a great week. You know, the game has showed really well. The media has been impressed with the things we've added to the game this year. This is when all the action's happening, all those months of preparation and strategizing, it all kind of like, you know, rubber meets the road.
Next, getting the college stamp of approval and struggling to meet deadlines. Rivalry Moment of the Week is presented by Coke Zero. Many of college football's greatest moments come from games when rivals line up on the gridiron. These rivalry games create moments that last a lifetime. Former USC Trojan Clay Matthews recalls his battles with the crosstown UCLA Bruins in this week's Coke Zero rivalry moment.
It almost seemed like every week was a rivalry game, but especially, you know, going to USC, playing against, you know, Notre Dame and UCLA. My senior year, I think both teams, it was going into the fourth quarter, relatively close game. Both teams kind of approached midfield and both got penalties in which everybody was coming onto the field, and it just kind of resembled everything, you know, that stands for that rivalry and that tradition. And, you know, fortunately, we were able to come out on top.
The Collegiate Licensing Company, better known as CLC, is the licensing organization that represents the NCAA and a majority of colleges in NCAA Football 12. EA Sports works closely with the CLC on garnering approval for in-game elements and out-of-the-game marketing programs.
So the relationship with EA Sports dates back to 1994. They've been our #1 licensee from a revenue perspective for the last 6 or 7 years.
CLC was an integral part in the creation of NCAA football, as it was created to help celebrate the 125th anniversary of college football.
The NCAA football project is a big undertaking each year. There are 120 FBS schools, and each one of those schools, in addition to the conferences, need to approve their marks in the game.
Ben's visit with them is critical for feedback and insight.
First off, I want to thank you very much for your time. I know we've been working a lot on what we're going to do this year for NCAA Football 12, but here I wanted to show you kind of what it looks all together in one nice big package of what the game's going to be this year. For us, it's all about tradition and trying to get every school to look and feel just like they do in real life. With that, it's additions of mascots this year. Not the guys that are in the suits, but actual live animal mascots. So we've got, Bevo here, we've got the Sooner Schooner. I mean, just the visual look, that's one of the big points of trying to make it look different every year. Anytime you are showing the game off to someone who's of a licensing stature, you always have that concern in the back of your head of maybe there's something that just kind of slipped through that shouldn't have been there. Even though I was very confident in what we've done this year and what we had, you still in the back of your mind always had that kind of question mark of what could happen. I mean, it's a live demo. You never know. It's not a scripted thing. Anything can happen during that game. For the first time ever, we've actually added fog effects to the game. So you can play in a deep, foggy game. In a rain game, you'll see receivers slipping as they're trying to make quick cuts.
It's very gratifying to get to this point. We've seen lots of screenshots throughout, but to really see the product on the TV screen and to see the upgrades in the grass, in the weather, it's incredible.
Today was a lot of fun for me because it was a chance to show the game off to our licensing partners at the CLC, what the finished product really looks like, what it's going to look like when it hits the shelves. So that was a blast for me to be able to kind of get that feedback.
With the clock ticking, the team races to complete the demo on time. One of the key components is HDR lighting, new to this year's game. It's crucial that it looks perfect in the demo, or it could be a huge setback for the game with only a few precious weeks left until it ships.
We started to notice an issue with our lighting. When we went back and forth, is it a lighting issue? Is it camera? Is it a graphics issue with the way the blooms are set up? And we had engineers scrambling to get a fix in for this. It took about 3 or 4 days for us to actually get it done. And this was one of the shots where the light blooms would cut through the fans, and by changing the time to 3:30, it gave us a backup option, gave us more time to focus on getting this fixed for the full title and not having to focus so much on the demo.
Whenever you're in beta and you're coming down to the crunch, you got to be very careful about what you do. Any change could have a domino effect and break other parts of the game. Last year we were about a month before launch and we had the demo out. This year it came out 2 weeks before we launched. A little bit shorter of a window than last year, but we wanted to make sure that we got the quality there so that when the demo gets out that everyone can see it and play it, knows the videos we saw were great, but it plays even better than that.
Obviously we do a ton of online testing. We have a lot of automation that runs in our online builds, and with that being down for weeks at a time, none of that automation is happening.
Sony's been a great partner. We feel for them when some hackers come after their service and take it down. Obviously the impact to us is we were offline. We couldn't do any PS3 online testing for many weeks.
For us to feel comfortable that the game can go out the door, we want all that automation to run for a certain number of hours. And all those hours are being lost. So now, once it comes up live again, we've got to get that automation up and running and basically backfill all that time that we've lost.
You've got these hard dates that you're against. You cannot push back. We gotta ask for as much time as we can. And if you extend past that time, you're going to run into the possibility of missing ship dates.
Well, I'm obviously panicking a little bit, trying to come up with multiple alternatives to try to make up the lost time. Certainly we're talking with Sony a lot to find out, how close are we to getting any system up and running that we can use. It's a stressful situation, no doubt about it.
On the final episode of the Making of EA Sports NCAA Football 12, the team awaits word from the outside world as the demo is finally released.
The demo is make or break for us. It's the first chance for a lot of people to actually play the game.
Well, the team finished the game on time.
We got a bug in. We had engineers scrambling to get a fix in for this.
Mark Ingram hits the red carpet at the ESPYs.
Now that I'm on the game, it's just a tremendous honor, and I'm really excited about it.